Hello, my name's Scott. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review. It's a kind of magic. Before we get into the review, remember that there are discounts for some of your favorite magic shops in the video description and the top pinned comment as always. So if you're looking to buy some magic, pick up some exclusive discounts on your order with those. But in today's review, we are looking at Cosmos. This is by Umesh and it's produced by the Black Box Magic Creation Company. And oh my god, this thing is wild. My TLDR on Cosmos by Umesh and Black Box Magic Creation is that if you are into predictions or if you are into mentalism, this will allow you to basically do miracles. It is expensive. The RRP is $499, but on their website it's currently discounted at $349, and I've seen it priced at about £300 at a few different magic shops. However, the price is justified. This thing, as I say, is nuts. Predictions, mentalism, but so many other things. It's incredible. Not only that, Umesh gives you everything you need and more to accomplish so much. It's customizable, it's reliable, and really this is, if you're willing to put the time into it, a miracle maker in your pocket. And that is my TLDR on Cosmos. What is Cosmos? Basically, it's a wallet that houses some kind of printer. Now, I don't actually mention specifically what the printer is. There are a few of these in various forms on the magic market, and it's a kind of heat printer or something like this. As I say, there's no real mention of exactly how the printing is happening. It's not a printer with any ink, it's not something that you're going to have to refill or anything like that. It's something that you charge and it connects to your phone, and we'll touch on this later, but the wallet itself houses that, and it allows you to print something on the fly in hundreds or probably thousands of different ways. You can predict the numbers on a lottery ticket, you can predict words, you can do a confabulation. There's so many possibilities here that it boggles the mind. Essentially, when you boil it down, that's what it is. It's a printer that's housed inside this wallet. And what do you get with it? Other than the wallet, I mean, you're going to see some close-ups on screen. What you receive is the wallet, you receive a bunch of template pieces of paper that are done as lottery tickets, you receive the charging cable, and then you receive 3 lots or 3 rolls of different kinds of paper. You have lined paper, you have plain paper, and then you have paper that looks like it's from the inside of a book. And that is to allow you to do a kind of book test. In addition to the physical items that you receive, you also receive a QR code that takes you to an array of tutorial videos. Like I said in a TLDR, Umesh covers everything and more, from customizing things, which this is highly customizable. You can print pretty much anything you want in tons of different fonts, and it connects with other things like Inject. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but I've covered everything that you receive when you purchase Cosmos. A little note to say that the instructions are in English. They do also have English subtitles. And the charging cable is USB to USB-C. That's everything that you receive with Cosmos. How easy is it to perform? It's very easy to perform, but there's some nuance here to talk about when I say easy, because this does everything for you. Inside here does all of the hard work. Once you have this prepped, which doesn't take long, but we'll go into that later on in the setup, but once it's prepped, you are ready to go. And then it connects to your phone, which I forgot to mention in the what do you get section. There is an app. There is an app for iOS, and then there is also an Android version of the app. So it shouldn't matter what phone you have, this will work on pretty much any phone available on the market. As I was saying though, it's very easy and the wallet does everything for you along with the app. What I will say is that it's quite daunting when you start watching all of the tutorials, and there's a lot of customization with this. So what you're going to have to take some time to do is process all of the options available to you and really study the device and study all of the instructions that come with it and decide what kind of routine that you want to perform. That is the difficult part about this effect, but it's nothing to do with how difficult it is to perform. As I said, the wallet does everything for you, and it's actually very easy to perform. You just have to put in the legwork of making everything make sense, justifying going to your phone, and all of the presentation and all of the choreography of the routine. That is the only difficult part to Cosmos. And the reset time is equally as good as the level of skill required to perform it. It just takes a couple of minutes, a few minutes to reset it. And also you can have these pieces of paper pre-rolled so that they're ready to go, and you just pop them in and that's it. That's all you have to do. So I would say it's faster than something like rolling a cigarette, which I don't smoke, but I know that people can roll cigarettes pretty fast. And the angles are equally as good. We're on a roll here with the amazing positive things that I have to say about Cosmos, because there are actually no angles at all to this. The information that you are trying to predict, or the information that you are going to have printed on these, that is entered through your phone. And then this can be anywhere you want. It can be on the table, it can be in your pocket, it can be in a little box or container. It really can be anywhere you want. So you can perform this completely surrounded. It doesn't matter what kind of scenario you are in, and you can perform it in pretty much silent performance situations where just you are talking and presenting over the top of the device printing, which for £300, you would hope that there would be no angle restrictions or requirements. And the pocket space is great. This is probably slimmer than most dad's wallets out there. It's certainly slimmer than my dad's wallet. I'm not sure how often I would carry this in my pocket if I wasn't specifically going to perform this effect. I don't think I would carry business cards in this and take it as an EDC or anything like that. It would be for specific performances, it would be for corporate events, it would be for moments where I have a VIP and I really want to do something special that is unique to them, that I've set up beforehand, where I've gotten some piece of branding for that company, or if it's a private dinner party, I have some names of the guests at the dinner party, and it's really something special that gets printed, that I predict one of the names, where they'll be, what country they want to go to, and then they get to keep this little piece of paper as a memory and a souvenir of the performance. So the pocket space is really fantastic, and it takes up a lot less than I imagined it to when I was first looking at the product. And now my final thoughts. Of course, the price bracket to this of roughly £300 is quite steep for the average person. But as I said in my TLDR, this really can do miracles. I will say, however, that the pieces of paper, the rolls of paper, they are the kind of paper that you would get from a receipt. And I'm really not sure anyone would gather that if a spectator was to take one of these pieces of paper. As I mentioned just now, you could potentially give it away as a souvenir. I don't think anyone would think that's fishy. Also, with the way that the piece of paper comes out from this zippered compartment, it does crinkle up a little bit. It doesn't look completely like a receipt. It doesn't have that rounded shape where it's been wound onto a roll and then it's come through the feed. It will have a slightly crinkled shape to it. And I didn't have high expectations. When Umesh asked if I would like to review this, I said, yeah, sure, I'll be happy to take a look at it. I have not heard of it before. It sounds interesting, and it's really blown me away. I think that for a professional gigging magician, for corporate events, for private parties, for weddings, this can really leave a lasting impression on your client and also their guests, where they will talk about you for years. I also think that it could be used really well in close-up shows, in parlor shows, and also integrated in things like stand-up comedy. Really, the possibilities here, because of the customization that Umesh has created with the app, and the flexibility and freedom that you have to create things, even from your own images that you create, it's just crazy. And as I say, that's going to be the only difficult element to Cosmos. The fact that you will need to put in the legwork to structure a routine that makes sense. I think that's everything. That's all I have to say. I am blown away by this, by the build quality, by everything that you receive, also by the instructions. And as I said earlier, for £300, that is what you would expect. And it certainly does meet those expectations. That's the review for today. If you have any comments about Cosmos, leave it in a comment below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.